Hello and welcome back to England here today, and well, as you may know, with the 2.1 update also came the Aussie Rivals DLC. This is a free DLC that contains two V8 supercars, the Holden Commodore and the Ford Falcon. Just as every V8 supercar fan wanted the good old Holden versus Falcon, Ford even here today. And today we're going to kind of go over a couple of them, test both cars, do some comparisons between them, and then do a bit of a race as well to kind of finish up this DLC review as we would normally here. So yeah, let's get all that. And we are here now with our Ford Falcon COTF here now. The name was redone with the 2.1 update as well. Aussie's Ford Falcon FG, I believe. But yeah, these are the kind of liveries that you can get with it. I'll kind of spin you around so you can actually see the liveries. A lot of the kind of team liveries with just some different alternate colours on them as well. So some very, very lovely liveries. You can see. I find that actually these V8 Supercars, feature quite a lot of really, really nice liveries here. Probably offering some of the best here as we think we're coming up to the end of it. Yep. You don't want to see that. You don't want to see that. Stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for that. You'll see that is, in fact, next video as well. We've got a funky career mode thing. Not career mode thing, but funky things happening here. And then we move on to the Holden Commodore now here. These don't have any interesting things I must keep hidden from you. But yeah, we do have, once again, some very nice, very vibrant schemes on this car as well. You'll probably see what I mean. Yeah, bright yellow. And pink, bright yellow, maybe bright green. That is actually quite so in the eyes, that one, but it does look quite cool. Some new logos and stuff on it as well, which is very cool indeed. And that's a mod hub livery. I can show you these two. There you go. There's them two. But yeah, what we're gonna do is we're gonna first of all test out the Ford Falcon here. I'm not sure where we're gonna go around, like, but let's go with this one, the yellow one. Let's go around Canadian Tire. 3 laps around Canadian Tire sounds alright. And then we can kind of whip together a bit of a race going here. Just to kind of show you what these lot are like here. I would do Bathurst, but I've driven Bathurst quite a lot in these videos recently, so we're not going to do Bathurst. So yeah, we are ready to rumble here in the Ford Falcon. Here we go. I don't think I'm going to do any of the kind of tables and that we did with the GT1s for this one, given... I'm just going to kind of describe you this, what it's like, and we're off in the Ford. This is a car that was added, I think it was like a 2.0 update or something that was added. One of the updates just kind of popped out of nowhere as a free car, this thing, which is quite cool. It does feel quite nice to drive. I mean, you saw us drive it around Spa that one time. When they got redone slightly, AI. Well, it's just the Ford, but yeah, we had a massive different pull on. You saw how, well, these things are just mental right there. If you haven't watched that, you might want to go watch that. If I remember to, I'll add a card up in the top right, because I know what I'm doing with them now. I don't really before. So we come down the back straight now here. Thing feels quite good, the 4-speed back. Feels quite lively car. It doesn't handle as you'd think, well, as you'd expect like a Morgan to. It is a massive car and it is a big heavy car. Lots of power, so it is very understeer. You do need to get it quite a bit slowed. And it's a bit of a wrangle to get it turned in sometimes, especially around these longer corners that feature almost exclusively Canadian Tire. Basically no kind of normal corners here, it's just all long things. So the cornering speed isn't that high around here in this thing, but it does feel quite good. It feels lively. You can feel it kind of getting light over the crest there and down over the bumps and stuff. And coming out the hairpin again, slow right down for this. We'll get in the throttle again. This one, you can do it sometime. It's a bit risky. You can do it in some cars flat out. Not on this thing. You do need to have quite a brake before you get down. hairpin, and even the hairpin, you can sometimes carry quite a lot of speed around the first bit, get it slow for the second bit. Not in this thing. It will just go straight on. We come down the back straight now here. We're going to get to 119s round here. I'm not count that as a positive for me. Come round, carry the speed, start, try carry as much speed as possible without wishy-washy outing. But I think we are wishy-washy outing a little bit. Ooh, that's a bit of a slide. So you'd be 8 tenths quicker here, and that's quite a big gap now. It's more power application yet you kind of think about. You can't really try and increase apex speeds because it doesn't really want to. Overloading that front right tyre around there. Attempt to try and get it around a bit easier. And then round and down. Towards the hairpin. Try and brake a little bit later for the hairpin. Off the corner, get it turned in and out as we go. Once again, by this time, front left even is shot here, so we do need to certainly try to take care of that, and especially tracks like Canadian Tire Lime Rock as well, especially if you're not using the chicanes there, which is, well, I feel the best layout without the chicanes. Ooh, bit of a wall. Bit of the car, you really can stab the throttle on it as we come across the line. Lovely stuff there. About 120.5. I think we could probably go quicker if we really tried. But yeah, very, very fun car that, and we now move on to the Holden. And now we move on to the Holden Commodore COTF here, ready to rumble in this thing here. Once again, just at Canadian Tire 3 laps once again. Hopefully something decent will happen here. You're ready to go once again here. So this thing is, one thing you do notice, there is a Motec Digidash even. And we are off here. Down towards someone. One thing I do notice immediately, force feels a lot lighter feeling. Doesn't mean the car handles better or is more nimble, it is the exact same weight and all that stuff. Weight, power, torque, and basically everything really. We come right now here, the Holden does just have the Motec display thing, which the Ford doesn't have. The Ford's one is on the steering wheel. Now I'm not sure what the steering wheel looks like on this thing, but I assume if the Motec's here on the kind of dash instead of the steering wheel, I assume the steering wheel's just a bog standard steering wheel. As we power our way down the back straight now here, down towards the end of this first lap. I do feel I can drive quicker in the Holden, to be honest. Down towards here we come. Yeah, I felt like I could keep the corner speed up a lot better around there. Around the final corner, stab the throttle, you can really get sideways and think. Some cars in this game you can just like stab the throttle and it just goes round without any warning whatsoever, unsavable as well. But on this thing, you can really stab. We do get track limits there. It's okay though. Always next lap to try set a better lap. So 123 that first lap. See if they can set a faster lap time the Holden. This is going to be the culminative result of the Ford versus Holden battle. This will just end the battle and the discussion. Although I'd say the discussion has firmly been ended as Holden doesn't really exist anymore. Rest in peace, Holden. And now we come out now here down the back stretch. We come now here. Looks to be almost on par, basically times-wise. Again, felt like I could carry much more speed around there. I think I might be taking a slightly different line than I was in the Ford. I sort of hugged that curve in the Ford and we basically power slide out, and that's a massive tail wag, and we only are 4/10 off our best Ford time. With that wag, I think we would have been way quicker if we didn't do that. As we understeer off the track, and the tyres just not responding, overheating really is the only word you can put there to do with it. Just not really responding as they would normally, just with the heat and the brutality of putting through them. Front right getting very hot on the inside there. Obviously correct the slide halfway around that hairpin. It's almost a double apex hairpin. And then that great at lap time, the tyres just didn't behave around that first section. Yeah, I've lit them up out the exit in the final corner at the end of that second lap, and that whole first section you basically need decent tyres, which we did not have. I think this thing, if I drive it correctly, was only 4/10 off of that time with it dragging out the back end, the wagon with the tail. You can definitely get that down to a better lap time. I just couldn't quite there. I stabbed the throttle too much. Got too much of myself, but you know, it's also a very good car, very, very similar on time. The balance performance, very, very well done. Although, I'm not sure there is much needing balance, because they're basically the exact same. But yeah, now let's move on to a bit of a race and see what these are like, properly. And we are here at Mid-Ohio now here for our race in these things. We're in the Holden, we're in the Shane Van Gisbergen mobile here, ready to rumble. You've seen both of them. I'm not going to waste your time run through the grid. You're ready here. Only 5 laps this, so not very long, but you know, still a race. We are ready to go here, and we're off. In fact, now here, try to chase down that superior, not superior, the inferior drink car of the Pepsi car of Mark Winterbottom. Shouldn't be too hard, given that we are in the Red Bull mobile. The Red Bull mobile will win always, and will ever not always win. What? I don't know. Something like that, and we've murdered someone already. That's not last long, is it? There we go. Oh, yep, slide it. You didn't slide it, that helps. Stab the throttle, get on the power and the hairpin now here. I am sweating and I'm itching absolutely bloody everywhere. It's down towards the first kind of one of the big braking zones here. Brake far too early. I've now got something in my eye. Nothing is going right this race. In towards the hair, not the hairpin, we come this very slow section. Now here made even slower by the traffic. Now here we're going to try and get by the Pepsi car of Mark Winterbottom. Has it worked? Yes it has. He's backed out like a complete wuss. Moving on now here. This thing is a sweaty car to drive. Cheesy peeps. Down towards the final bit of lap number 1 now here. Try and get by Dale Wood. We have. Out of the final corner coming now here. Finished lap 1 in 9th place. She's now fellow Holden now. And towards the chicane we come. I will say, them secret liveries I used, there's 19 of them. You don't see them because I uninstalled the mod temporarily just for this race. So you don't see them. And that they will come Sunday though, will come Sunday. You will see what they are. Spoiler alert, they're very cool. And when that's uploaded, I'm actually at one of their events. So one of the events in the that is what the mod is supposed to be. As we come around now here down towards probably the trickiest corner I find on this circuit, especially online. People just wash out round here, clip the curb or the grass and go off track, way off track. You don't really get back on if you go off there. Feel like losing a torrent of time there. We managed to get over the bump there. There's a big bump over there, big crest, really chasing down a Falcon. Try cement that this is the superior car. Now we also get by the shell car as well. These guys seem to be quite slow around here. I'm not sure what it is. We're up to 6th anyway. This Holden feels quick. Well, I will say after a couple of laps, it usually does feel like the tyres have just disappeared off the face of the planet, and it just spins up the tyres every time. Sales are probably making a complete butchery of V8 supercar racing here, but you know, it's just the way I drive, and I do what I like and I like what I know. That's not the saying. Now down the back stretch we come now here. We don't seem to have a straight line on them. Now here is entering the complex. Here we come now here. Try to get the wide line in, try to get the exit speed down towards here. We can maybe make a move, but no we can't because he's basically stopped in the middle of the corner, annoyingly there. So we can't make anything. We're off the grass. Oh my god, that was close. Just about to survive there. I think maybe it might just be a Forza issue. The grass sucks you out there. You definitely don't want to get sucked out in any game onto that grass because it is a very tricky and precarious situation to get out of. At times, you need to be very careful. Let's go to the back of this guy again. We're complete fools. And up, light the rears, and away we go. Once again. Is this pulled to a lap? I think it's lap 4, I think. Yeah. Again, the tyres starting to feel a bit Holden-y after, same with with the Canadian tyre. You don't turn, then you try to turn it, overheats, and then you get power on it, just spins. Ford may feel a bit more of a consistent car, really. Down the back stretch we come now here. Can we get 5th place is the question. Hopefully is the answer. And to be honest, oh my god, as we completely blow the braking zone. Up comes Brian Johnson. We have got by, or we have kept position, not got by. Got by is the wrong word now here. Chasing down here, final lap coming on to now. Right up the chuff of 5th place. Get the throttle on early. Well, I'm scared to see what he does there. A wide line, try cut in on the apex. Yes, we will get by. I wouldn't say they're the greatest round in Ohio. I definitely don't seem it. Oh, we had Brian Johnson right up our chuff there. Big on the grass. White flag. Just attack the first bit. Not attack the second bit, we got tagged! This is racing at its finest. Proper elbows out stuff. He's got bias. Tries to cut down and get the apex before him. Didn't pay off, and now we're on the back foot now. And then we wobble on the brakes, and that is us done. Completely bye-bye 5th place. Bye-bye 6th place even, maybe. Car becoming very difficult to drive under pressure. Just slides when the tyres are hot, that's all it does. Yeah, a bit of a send if we want to do something good here. No. Try to send it too hard. We come round, it will be 6th place in the V8 Supercar and the Holden anyway here. Not too bad. Could have been 5th, but we just messed up the brakes a bit there. That's annoying. Only 3 Holdens in the field. You're having a laugh. Jeezy, peeps, man. Wow. And everything fairly equal, to be honest. Very equal, in fact. Very equal. And yeah, that'll be that there from me today here with the V8 Supercar DLC. I mean, you have kind of seen the whole DLC in many parts here, or in a few parts, but I thought I might as well show you it in one part here. But yeah, we will see next time here for whatever is to come next. In fact, I know what's coming next. Here, if you did enjoy this one, make sure to like, subscribe, do all them good things. That would be greatly appreciated. Thank you very much for the likes and all that recently, all the support. It's been very greatly appreciated, and I've got a lot more lined up that is certainly very, very cool lined up as well. Mod Hub fairly coming into its own now here. That is for sure. But yeah, we will see next time here. But yeah, until next time, I do hope you enjoy yourselves, and goodbye.